What is the dragon you are fighting? Not a literal one, of course, but the one inside, the voice that tells you you're not good enough. The rage that flares up when you feel threatened. The anxiety that keeps you up at night. In the world of Burke, the dragons were external. They were the problem. Kill the dragons, solve the problem. Simple. But as Hiccup discovered, the real battle wasn't out there. It was the battle against a mindset passed down for generations. A mindset of fear, aggression, and ignorance. A mindset that is the perfect example of what the ancient Stoics warned us about. This is the psychology of self-transformation through the lens of Stoicism and the story of Hiccup. Because to train your dragon, you must first learn to train yourself. The foundation of Stoicism, established by the philosopher Epictetus, is the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us. Our judgments, our actions, our will. Other things are not up to us. Our reputation, the actions of others, the weather, the dragons. Look at the Vikings of Burke. For generations, they tried to control what they could not. The dragons, their entire identity was wrapped up in this impossible task. And what was the result? Constant fear, constant anger, constant loss. They were slaves to their passions. Then there's Hiccup. Small, weak, unable to control the world through force. But in his failure, he stumbles upon a Stoic truth. He realizes he cannot control the dragons. He can control himself, his fear, his curiosity, ease, judgment. When he approaches Toothless in the cove, he doesn't try to dominate. He doesn't try to control the dragon. He controls only himself. His own fear. He makes the choice to be vulnerable. This is the first step of the Stoic. To focus, not on the events themselves, but on your response to them. Once Hiccup masters his own initial reactions, he can begin to build a new way of being. The Stoics believed in 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. And Hiccup's journey is a masterclass in each. First, wisdom. The Vikings saw a monster. Hiccup saw a creature in pain. Wisdom is the ability to navigate complex situations with reason. It's not about knowing facts. It's about seeing clearly. Hiccup used his reason to understand the dragons, and in doing so, he understood the root cause of the war. Second, courage. Not the courage to fight, but the courage to stand alone, to defy his father, his tribe, and 1,000 years of tradition. Stoic courage is moral courage. It's the strength to do the right thing, even when the entire world is telling you you're wrong. Third, justice. Justice in Stoicism means treating others with fairness and value. Hiccup doesn't just befriend Toothless for himself. He fights for a world where Vikings and dragons can coexist. His goal isn't personal glory. It's the common good. He sees the inherent worth in all beings. And finally, temperance. Self-discipline and moderation. Think of Hiccup learning to fly. He can't just jump on and go. He has to be patient. He has to control his impulses. He has to work with the dragon, not against him. Temperance is the discipline that allows all other virtues to flourish. But what about the character named Stoic? Is he a good Stoic? At first glance, no. He's the embodiment of toxic, unexamined emotion. His stoicism is just a hard shell. He's not in control of his passions. He's being driven by them specifically, by grief and fear. The genius of the films, especially the third, is showing us that this hard exterior was a mask, a protection mechanism. He lost his wife. He was terrified of losing his son, so he doubled down on the only thing he knew: the old ways. He built a wall of aggression to hide a mountain of pain. This is the shadow self we talked about in our last video. Stoic wasn't a villain. He was a man ruled by his fear of loss. He confused hardness with strength. But a true Stoic knows that vulnerability and love are not weaknesses. They are the foundation of a well-lived life. His transformation happens when he finally lets go of control. When he accepts that his son is different. When he sees the truth that Hiccup's way is not a threat, but a solution. He learns the dichotomy of control. He couldn't control Hiccup, but he could control his love for him. Transformation often demands a sacrifice. In the Stoic view, we must be prepared to lose everything that is not truly ours. Our possessions, our status, even our loved ones. This sounds harsh, but it's not about not loving. It's about loving wisely. After Stoic dies, Hiccup is lost. He tries to be the chief his father was. He tries to fill his father's shoes with aggression, with force. But it fails, because a new self cannot be built from the blueprint of the old. The final stage of transformation is integration. Hiccup doesn't forget his father, honors him, but he also honors the part of himself that is like his mother, the dreamer, the peacemaker. He integrates the warrior and the healer. The ultimate Stoic lesson from Hiccup is the art of letting go. He had to let go of the need to be a Viking as defined by his ancestors. He had to let go of his father. And finally, he had to let go of his best friend, because he knew that true love does not seek to possess. It seeks the good of the other. Transformation often demands a sacrifice. In the Stoic view, we must be prepared to lose everything that is not truly ours. Our possessions, our status, even our loved ones. This sounds harsh, but it's not about not loving. It's about loving wisely. After Stoic dies, Hiccup is lost. He tries to be the chief his father was. He tries to fill his father's shoes with aggression, with force, but it fails, because a new self cannot be built from the blueprint of the old. The final stage of transformation is integration. Hiccup doesn't forget his father, honors him, but he also honors the part of himself that is like his mother, the dreamer, the peacemaker. He integrates the warrior and the healer. The ultimate Stoic lesson from Hiccup is the art of letting go. He had to let go of the need to be a Viking, as defined by his ancestors. He had to let go of his father. And finally, he had to let go of his best friend, because he knew that true love does not seek to possess. It seeks the good of the other. The dragons and How to Train Your Dragon were never the real enemy. The real enemy was ignorance. It was fear. It was the refusal to see the world as it truly is. Your dragons, your anger, your anxiety, your self-doubt, they are not enemies to be slain. They are forces to be understood, to be trained, to be integrated. Stoicism teaches us that the peace we seek is not in a world without dragons. That world doesn't exist. The peace is in our own judgment, in our own response, in the courage to extend our hand, even when we're terrified. You don't become a hero by conquering the world. You become a hero by conquering yourself, by learning, like Hiccup, to see clearly, to act justly, and to love without possession. Thanks for watching. What dragon are you learning to train? Let us know in the comments below. See you in the next one. Hiccup had his secret cove, his quiet place with Toothless, where he learned to see the world and himself in a completely new way. But what about you? You probably don't have a hidden lagoon to escape to. You have a smartphone buzzing on your nightstand, a boss with a deadline, and a bank account that always seem to be running on empty. But here's the secret. The cove isn't a place, it's a state of mind. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius called this the inner citadel. It's the fortress within your own mind. The no external event, no matter how chaotic, can ever breach. And you build this fortress through one powerful tool, the discipline of perception. Every single day, you face your own dragons. The dragon of road rage when someone cuts you off in traffic. The dragon of impatience when your child asks the same question for the 10th time. The dragon of envy when you scroll through a friend's perfect highlight reel on social media. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus gave us the key. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The trigger itself is not the dragon. Your judgment of the trigger, that's the dragon. Someone cuts you off. That's a simple fact. But your judgment that this person is a monster and has ruined my entire day. That is the dragon you are choosing to feed and empower. So, how do you train this dragon? The same way Hiccup did. Not with one big, dramatic gesture, but with small, consistent acts of exposure and reconditioning. The first step is to name the dragon. When you feel that spike of anger or anxiety welling up, just pause. Don't react. Just name it. there is the dragon of impatience. Hello, dragon of insecurity. By simply naming it, you create a space between you and the emotion. You are not the anger. You are the one observing the anger. This is exactly what Marcus Aurelius did every night in his journal, which we now know as his meditations. He wasn't just complaining, he was writing reminders to himself, like you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Step 2. See it for what it truly is. The Stoics practiced something called objective description. This means you don't add a dramatic story to the event. You just see the facts. That terrible meeting you just had. Objectively, it was a group of people in a room, exchanging words. That devastating critique of your work. Objectively, it was one person's opinion, expressed through sound waves. This isn't about ignoring your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It's about not letting your feelings write a story that simply isn't true. It's about seeing the dragon not as a terrifying monster, but perhaps as a scared, injured creature, just trying to survive. And this brings us to the final, most difficult lesson, the one from the third film. The ultimate act of mastery in love. For years, Hiccup's entire identity was tied to Toothless. He was the dragon rider. He was the boy who changed the world. But true growth means understanding that some dragons are not meant to be kept forever. Some battles are not meant to be fought for a lifetime. The Stoics spoke of amor fati, a love of fate, a deep acceptance of everything that happens, even the painful parts, as necessary for the whole. Hiccup didn't want to lose Toothless. Of course not, but he loved Toothless more than he loved his own desire to keep him. He accepted that the dragons had to go to be truly free. So, what is the dragon you need to let go of? Maybe it's not an external dragon at all. Maybe it's the dragon of who you used to be, the identity you've outgrown, the grudge you've been nursing for years, the version of yourself that you're still clinging to, even though it's time to evolve. This is the final stage of self-transformation. It's not about arriving at some perfect, finished destination. It's about becoming someone who can dance with change, someone who can love deeply and let go bravely. Someone who can look at the dragons of their past, the fears, the failures, the losses, and say, "You made me who I am, and now I release you." The story of self-transformation, seen through Stoicism and How to Train Your Dragon, tells us one clear thing. You are both Hiccup and the dragon. You are the one who is afraid, and the one who must learn courage. You are the one who is angry, and the one who must learn temperance. You are the one who is lost, and the one who must become the chief of your own life. Stoicism isn't about becoming an emotionless robot. It's about not being ruled by your emotions. It's about choosing, consciously and deliberately, who you want to be in every single moment. Training your dragon doesn't mean killing it. It means understanding it. It means building a relationship with that part of yourself based on trust, not fear. It means realizing the dragon was never really the enemy. The real enemy was ignorance, and ignorance is being replaced by understanding. You don't need to slay your dragons to be free. You just need to learn how to fly with them. Thanks for watching. Now, go train your dragon.